Hey guys, Sam here, your host of the Mystery Record Unboxing video, episode 3 if you're keeping count. Back again for another small stack of boxes to open up with you guys. Got some cool stuff in here. Again, haven't peeked yet. I opened up kind of like loosen the tape to make this a little easier so you're not just watching me fumble with these packages for endless minutes. But again, most of these packages, I don't know what is inside what because most of these people did not list what distributor or label they're from, and a lot of them are from like private sellers. So it's gonna be kind of fun. Open up a bunch of cool records, share it with you guys. If you're into like metal kind of stuff, it's gonna be primarily that kind of music. So come hang out, man. Come hang out with me. Let's look at some cool stuff. This first box, took a little peek. Looks like there's at least 2 records in this one. Again, I noticed I came from overseas. I did not know what's in this box though, but I do know that it is from this place. Bam, Cosmic Key Creations. If you were here last week, I got a previous package from them. I got an Immortal record and Borknagar, which I was pretty stoked about. And I got 2 more, it looks like, in here. The first one being Enslaved. Reader. I don't know how to pronounce this one, but that's the one I'm going to go with. Reader. If you know how to pronounce it, please tell me in the comments below. But yeah, Reader, this album rules. Thoughts Like Hammers is a song that I really bonded with my friend over when we were living together, and it's just been like non-stop playing for me ever since. This one is an absolute classic. I know I mentioned how much I loved E, which I still think is phenomenal, but this was kind of like the first Enslaved record that I really fell in love with. It's got great tracks on it. Roots of the Mountain is, I think, probably my favorite Enslaved song of all time. I saw them play it live when I caught them on tour, which was just like, you just can't beat that when, your favorite song is played live. Take a look on the inside, check out these angsty boys right here. I guess they're not so angsty anymore, Enslaved has aged really well in terms of like lack of controversy and stuff like that, so as far as I'm concerned, they are pretty okay dudes in my book from what I understand. But let's take a look at the record themselves. It's a 2 vinyl LP set right here, and it comes on this cool looking splatter. That's really cool. I like how faded it is. It kind of reminds me a lot of kind of the faded, or should I say, muted colors of the album itself. As you know me, I am a big fan of color schemes that match the artwork, and this one looks pretty dang cool. Again, like I said, 2 LP set. The other one looks like it should be more or less the same. Bam. Ooh, a little thicker. It looks like someone spilled a bunch of pancake batter. But that's okay, because in this house we like pancakes, and we also love Enslaved. So again, that's Enslaved Reader, I think. I believe. One of my favorite all-time Enslaved records. From Cosmic Key Creations. They didn't, as far as I'm concerned, they just stocked that one. They didn't that's not like their own personal release. But this one is. This one is Old Man's Child, In Defiance of Existence. This is a band that's most notoriously known because it features one of the key members of Dimmu Borgir. And this is also a band that I discovered back in high school. I remember, I guess around like 2003, 2004, a bunch of the metal labels would put like free downloads on their site. And on Century Media, I believe it was Century Media, like it was them, like Earache Records, a bunch of that kind of stuff. But through, I believe, Century Media, I downloaded these guys, the track Black Seeds on Virgin Soil, which is a phenomenal keyboard heavy black metal song, and it rips. I absolutely love it. I think people tend to think this band's kind of a little more like on the poppier end of the spectrum, so kind of more like if you're kind of a bigger fan of like Borgir or like Cradle of Filth, I think you would definitely dig these guys. This record in particular, they have a lot of great stuff. They have a great discography, but this one is absolutely my favorite. And the record itself, we got right in here, and it looks black. Bam, pure black. For some reason I was expecting silver, but it looks like I picked up the black copy, which is fine because it fits Black Seeds on Virgin Soil, am I right? So that's pretty cool. This is an album I revisit a lot. I'm honestly big fan of this one. And I've been wanting some Old Man stuff in my collection for a while now, and I saw that Cosmic Key has been reissuing a lot of their stuff. But this was the first one I had to get. Take a look at the back. Look at those bloody boys, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, really stoked that I have this one. Again, Old Man's Child, In Defiance of Existence, put out by Cosmic Key Creations. So again, thank you Cosmic Key for the sweet box. And now, we're gonna move on to box number 2. Let's see what we got here. Ugh. Again, this one looks like it's from overseas. Not sure what's inside, but it feels a little hefty. So let's take a peek. Ooh. Okay, so a couple things came in this one, which is really, really cool. The first one being this t-shirt. Bam. For Midnight Odyssey, specifically for their album Bioloom Part 1, which came out last year. Arguably, I would say, probably my favorite black metal album of like last decade. It's a very like electronic synth heavy album, very like atmospheric, very like spacey. But like honestly, everything involved in it, I just fell in love immediately. I think this album is absolutely insanely good. This is an all-timer for me. And this guy's a one-man project, like quickly rose to the top. So like kind of just like whatever he does now, I just immediately follow. But Midnight Odyssey, huge fan. Bioloom Volume 1, which came out last year, amazing, absolutely incredible record. I highly recommend it. Let's keep digging, shall we? So this guy's no stranger. If you watched the last video, Lustre made an appearance, and here we are again with They Awoke to the Scent of Spring. Again, it's like much more like an ambient kind of one-man black metal project. Very naturey, very synth electronic heavy, but again, beautiful soundscapes this guy creates. Huge fan. Kind of like Midnight Odyssey. This is another person I've just been absolutely obsessed with and just following and kind of just slapping down my money whenever something new comes up, you know. Take a look again at the wrapping off this time. Lustre. They Awoke to the Scent of Spring. This one I actually have not heard. Thinking back on it, I remember looking up Midnight Odyssey and I saw this record on sale on the site, and I was just like, I didn't know this thing existed. So immediately, again, you know, I was like, screw it, why not? Slap down some money, put that order in, and bam, here we are. A nice snowy white. That's kind of nice. That's kind of pretty. I don't think I have any records that are just plain white. You know, normally they're all clear or like see-through or some kind of like white splatter, but this is just like a nice eggshell white. And that's kind of cool. Again, very fitting for the music that's inside. Again, that's Lustre. They Awoke to the Scent of Spring, an album that I honestly have not heard. I'm very excited to throw this one on, actually. And the record right below it is honestly probably one of my favorite death metal albums of the year so far. And that's saying a lot because there's been a lot of great death metal releases this year. And that is Cosmic Putrefaction. Check out this spacey ass artwork right here. Sorry, avoid the glare. But here you go, look at that. This album is absolutely incredible. It's called Towards Which Splendor Withers. Sounds pretty cool to me. Put up by I Voidhanger Records. You can see this little guy down here. They were the people I went to get this Midnight Odyssey set in the first place. They also sold that Lustre album, which I just showed you as well. But they have like some absolutely killer stuff. I think they're probably the most interesting metal label out right now. Just putting out just like incredibly avant-garde, left field artists and albums, and you know, and they all kind of fall into like their own like death metal or black metal, but they're all so uniquely interesting. You know, they put out a grindcore album from this artist called like Zythlia lately, which was pretty gnarly. They did like Weeping Sores, which is this like beautiful death metal record. But Cosmic Putrefaction on this kind of like this red black kind of swirl, again fitting to the logo right here. Cosmic Putrefaction. I know there's a glut of death metal right now, and there has been, but this one just hit all the boxes for me. You know, they don't feel like a cosmic ripoff. I know that's like real popular right now, particularly in the blood incantation camp. the 2 mold camp, $20 spin camp. But these guys, I think, definitely carve out their own name. They're definitely worth checking out. Cosmic Putrefaction, towards which Splendor withers. Highly recommend if you're into death metal. Big fan. Little lyric sheet. Always love that. And the last record in this box, going deep, is the record that I got that t-shirt for, Midnight Odyssey, Biolume, Volume 1. This record, like I said, is my absolute favorite black metal record of last year and last decade. I listened to this one all the time. They had some interesting colors for it, but unfortunately they're all sold out, so you can either pay a significant premium on Discogs, which I'm not going to do, or just go for black, you know. And this is an artist that I absolutely love and want to continue to support. So, I mean, black, that's all I can get. That's fine. You know, 2 LPs, pretty cool. Little artwork sheet right here, you know. Looks like it's got some cool photos on the back. Again, Midnight Odyssey, if you're into like the more kind of like synth heavier black metal, so I guess kind of stuff like summoning, you know, for instance, then like this guy he's a must. He's absolute killer. You know, I'm just absolutely in love with this guy and big fan. I'm like really stoked to see what he does next. On to the third box. This one I opened up the back, but again, it was shipped from a place that I'm not familiar with, so I'm honestly not sure what's in this one. But let's take a look, shall we, guys? Well, I guess this is a very fitting. It is Midnight Odyssey. This one is called The Forest Mourners. The Forest Mourners. Got a couple of songs in the back. Beautiful embossed logo right here. If you can see that little foil. Always a big fan of that. The sleeve just feels really nice, to be honest. You know, sometimes you can just kind of tell like the quality, and you can tell some love and care went to this one. It just feels really nice to hold in your hands. Cool little logo. Lyric sheet on the back. But let's take a look at the wax itself. Let's take a look at that record, shall we, guys? Sorry, got these boxes in my lap, so I'm trying to finagle them all. But this one is, here we go, bam. It's kind of like a nice kind of like purple. I know it's kind of hard to tell in the video, but it's like a very like light kind of faded purple, closer to like the in-between period place between like purple and red. But it looks really, I guess, black cherry. Is that a color? It looks really nice. This is a record that I actually have not heard. This is something that I kind of was just like milling about online one day, and I just saw that like it was available for purchase, you know, and being a huge fan of Midnight Odyssey, I just immediately was like, okay, yes, I'll buy that right now. I want to support this dude. And honestly, that's pretty cool because now I got 2 and that cool t-shirt. So again, Midnight Odyssey, The Forest Mourners. And last but not least, the surprise 7-inch. Let's take a look, shall we, guys? This one's cool. The story behind it is this was back when I got this on one of the Bandcamp Fridays. I can't remember if it was like the first Bandcamp Friday or maybe like the first or second or third. But this band, Backwoods Payback, they like threw up a bunch of stuff. They were like, hey guys, for this Bandcamp Friday, we're going to throw up a ton of stuff. Feel free to shop around. Some of it's like, it kind of seems like they may have just like discovered, you know, as artists do, like, oh, here's some like leftover merch. But one of them was this 7-inch, which apparently there was only like, which is out of print, and there's only like 1 or 2 left or something like that. And being a big fan of these guys, I immediately bought it. I saw them tour, I blindly saw them tour with Windhand and Ilsa through St. Vitus. I went to see Windhand and Ilsa. I wasn't familiar with these guys, but was really impressed, and I've been a big fan ever since. It's a little 7-inch that opens from the top right here. And you can take a look. Look at that beautiful color. Look at that. This little like purple, blue, white, red, black, little like splatter kind of thing going on right here. Big fan of that. You know, as I said, I am a big fan of 7-inches. One day I want to get one of those little like tiny little 7-inch crates where you can kind of just like flip through the album art. I've always liked them because, you know, I guess for like a good example, like Iron Maiden, like everyone knows what every Iron Maiden album art looks like, but all the 7 inches has like alternative art, you know, like unused stuff like that. And I always thought that those were really cool because I love album art, and honestly, I just think it's really fun to look at. And just kind of flipping through a little bit of them, which is always something that's just been really cool to me. I always, whenever I walk into like a record store and I see like a separate like 7-inch section, I always kind of go there just to kind of flip through because I don't know, I'm a big fan of I'm a big fan of EPs, big fan of singles, and I just like collecting them. So yeah, those are all my boxes for today. It was again pretty black metal heavy, some death metal, some Backwoods Payback, which I'm not sure what you want to call them. I'm not going to put them in some kind of box, but they really rule, and you should definitely check them out. I guess they're kind of like some like doomier, sludgier, like hard rock kind of band. Is kind of like the three genres that pop into my head for Backwoods Payback, but I would definitely recommend checking them out. And that's pretty much it for today. I want to give a shout out to my friend Nick for recommending me this lighting setup. So thanks, dude. I want to recommend all my friends who recommended me all this. I want to recommend my friends. I want to thank all my friends for recommending me all this cool music to check out. Thank you, everybody. Backwoods Payback, thank you for putting up that 7-inch. I was so stoked to actually get that and own a piece of your music in my collection now. Big thank you. Again, this is a weekly thing, so join me next Monday for a couple more boxes, a couple more surprise records. There's always stuff coming in through the mail, always something new. Again, please feel free to share this video with your friends. I kind of want to make this an ongoing thing. I'm having a lot of fun. And it's also just kind of fun just opening up the stuff and being like, oh, I forgot I got this in the mail in the first place. So without further ado, thank you guys all for checking this out. Thank you for sticking through with me with this. Having a lot of fun doing it. Thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you all next week. Take care, guys.